Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine last year. The 24th of February 2022 marked the re-emergence of the war on the European continent. As the war anniversary nears, Russian President Vladimir Putin and US President Joe Biden are going all out to rally allies and justify their moves in Europe to their citizens. In a whirlwind visit to Poland and Ukraine, Biden reassured that the eastern flank NATO allies, his administration is highly attuned to the threats they face, he said.
Hello, Poland. One of our greatest.
But Putin has been busy too. The Russian president addressed tens of thousands at Moscow's main Luzhniki Stadium.
Есть люди, вот они здесь стоят, рядом со мной.
На территории подконтрольной
Президент Российской Федерации Владимир
Есть люди, вот они здесь стоят, рядом со мной.
На территории подконтрольной
Speaking at the state-organized rally, Putin said Russia is fighting for its historical lands.
Но я знаю, вот сейчас только слушал.
I just heard from the top military leadership of the country that a battle is going on right now for our historical lands, for our people.
На наших исторических рубежах.
Putin also praised Russian servicemen in Ukraine, who he said are fighting heroically, courageously and bravely. The audience waving Russian flags braved cold winter temperatures of minus 15 degrees Celsius to watch patriotic performances and speeches.
Нам нет равных за единство российского народа. Ура!
Ждем продолжения вчерашнего.
We are waiting for the continuation of yesterday's speech. Yesterday was a very interesting address. It had a calming effect.
Успокаиваешься, как-то он действует так вот.
I came to support the political course of our president and our country. I personally think that we are on the right path. In the future, only victories and reunifications await us.
The Kremlin has begun to characterize its offensive as a wider conflict against the West, the equivalent of the Great Patriotic War against Nazi Germany. Putin has blamed the escalation of the conflict on Washington and other Western capitals, which have backed Kiev. Led by the US, Western nations have sent billions of dollars of armaments to Kiev. But as the war drags on, NATO eastern flank allies' anxieties have got heightened. The United States and NATO have increased their military presence in Central and Eastern Europe. Before leaving Warsaw, President Biden arrived at the presidential palace for talks with leaders from the Bucharest Nine.
Commitment to NATO. As NATO's eastern flank, you're on the front lines of our collective defense, and you know better than anyone what's at stake in this conflict, not just for Ukraine, but for the freedom of democracies throughout Europe and around the world.
The Bucharest Nine is a collection of nations on the eastern parts of the NATO alliance. These countries came together in response to Putin's 2014 annexation of Crimea, which was then a part of Ukraine. The alliance includes Bulgaria, the Czech Republic, Estonia, Hungary, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Romania and Slovakia. Many worry Putin could move to take military action against them next if he is successful in Ukraine. Some experts view the Russia-Ukraine war as a manifestation of the renewed geopolitical rivalry between major world powers. Analysts say Moscow is seeking to alter the Western-led system prevailing since the end of the Cold War. Western allies say the war has broken the entire security architecture built patiently on the European continent over many decades. A day after big speeches, war and diplomacy are both heating up. On ground zero, heavy fighting was still going on even as Putin and Biden uttered their diametrically opposite worldviews. In the next 1 minute, we will take you back to the battlefield. Starting with Kharkiv, Ukraine's northeast remains a flashpoint even a year after the war began. Here, Ukrainian officials claim 2 civilians were wounded in a Russian missile strike, which was reportedly directed at industrial facilities in Kharkiv, the biggest city in Eastern Ukraine, I beg your pardon. Bakhmut is another flashpoint in the ongoing war. Here, Russia has claimed some advances. Ukraine reported that around 18 towns and villages in the eastern region of Donetsk came under heavy fire overnight. With this, Russia says its troops have now made a 2.5-kilometer advance towards the city of Bakhmut. The Kremlin sees the city as the main staging post in capturing other towns further west in the Donetsk region. Ukrainian soldiers deployed in the region have expressed concerns over Russia recapturing Bakhmut. Earlier on Tuesday, as the Russian president was delivering his speech, at least one Russian rocket hit a busy street in the Ukrainian city of Kherson that killed at least 6 people. According to officials, 12 others were wounded in the attack.
В России. Проект антироссийский конфликт за эскалацию, за рост числа его жертв.
1 year on, the war on Ukraine continues. Life in the capital of Kyiv is coming back to what is believed to be the new normal. Ukrainians are getting a grip of the reality, and which is that they have to live with the war. Tanks like these serve as a grim reminder of the gains that the Ukrainian side has made against Russian aggression. The cost of war, both emotionally and monetarily, has been huge, and they've been calling on the international community to step up and support them in the face of what they believe will be a Ukrainian victory. Anas Malik in Kyiv, Ukraine for WION. World is One.